Errol Spence says, when I said never, I meant it. But who is he talking about? Is he talking about Keith Thurman? Is he talking about Terence Crawford? Well, stay tuned to this video. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the situation. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So you see it on the screen. When I said never, I meant it. Now, very ambiguous statement from unified champion at welterweight, Errol Spence Jr. Hey, stop that cat, man down, right? So a lot of people are speculating what this means. Who is he talking to? I've seen some people insinuate that he was referencing Terence Crawford because, as you guys know, Spence Crawford negotiations, people are growing impatient. They want to see the fight. To the point of me recording this video, there has not been an announcement confirming the fight or denouncing that the fight is not happening next. So some people are saying that's who he was talking to some kind of way. Others are suggesting Keith Thurman. Backstory. Errol Spence, on his way up, before he became a champion, I'm referring to, Errol Spence had vehemently called out Keith one time Thurman. You better not duck me, thud. You better not, right? And he was calling him out. Even the great TBE. I got worried about it. I'm rich, motherfucker. Floyd Mayweather. Like I said before. Floyd Mayweather said he was being called out by Keith Thurman himself, and Floyd Mayweather said that instead, Keith Thurman would be well matched with Errol Spence. And Errol Spence, I remember there was literally, Floyd was outside and it was an interview with Floyd, and then Errol Spence was standing right next to him, right? And then Errol Spence was trying to get that work. Long story short, Errol Spence couldn't convince Keith Thurman or whoever the powers that be to get that fight cracking. And to this day, the fight has not manifested, has not happened. So who was Errol Spence talking about? Again, it's very vague, very ambiguous. Errol Spence tends to do this. Sometimes Gervonta Davis does it as well, where it's these cryptic messages. Gervonta himself, he like posts and deletes. Errol Spence, he doesn't really say the name, so it just leaves people to speculate, things like that. So if I had to take my best guess, I would say it is referring to Keith Thurman. Again, this is just my honest opinion. I don't know because Errol Spence didn't attach a name to it, but I'll tell you why I believe it's Keith Thurman. In the last 30 days, I looked at my YouTube analytics and it showed me 50% of the people that watched my content last month decided to hit the subscribe button. That means the other 50% did not. We can change that right here and now. SLC, subscribe, like, and comment. It's very simple. In that order, subscribe, like, and comment. SLC goes a long way and it helps the channel reach one, teach one. There's other people that want to hear what is going on in boxing, and I'm the plug. I'm that guy. So you guys can help spread the message so my channel can grow organically and the message gets out. Period. The reason I believe Errol Spence is referring to Keith Thurman in his cryptic message is because he said, when I say never, I meant it. And just in the last few days, the WBC has moved Keith Thurman into the #1 spot. I'm coming for the #1 spot, right? So they moved him to the #1 spot. This was noticed, a lot of chatter about it. Hey, Keith Thurman, how'd he get there? He just fought Barrios. And there's a lot of people that were speculating that Keith Thurman was brought, like he was brought into the fold or elevated within the WBC as the #1 as a potential backup to Terence Crawford. So this is the conversations that are being had in a lot of boxing circles. People are under the belief system that if Crawford fight doesn't unfold, like Crawford wants too much money or a deal cannot be reached, that Keith Thurman was the backup. So that's the conversations I was seeing across the net. And then the timing matches up very well with Errol Spence, who at 350 put the tweet that you've seen at the beginning of this video. When I said never, I meant it. So what does that mean? Errol Spence has been very candid after becoming the man and big fish, if you will, in the division, Errol Spence was then very candid about how he's not going to give an opportunity to Keith Thurman. And he pretty much, just paraphrasing, he says that Keith Thurman played around with him. So for that reason, he's shunning him and he's going to banish him and make sure now when it's lit for Errol, he's not going to give him that opportunity because, you know, you got to understand it. You play games when you was on top because Keith Thurman, keep this in mind, Errol Spence got 3 belts. Keith Thurman only had 2 belts, but still 2. And no one in the world of boxing, in the welterweight picture, had more belts than Keith Thurman at that given time. Keith Thurman was the guy, he had the WBC and it was the WBA belt, right? And Keith Thurman was like kind of the Derrick Rose of boxing, always injured, long layoffs, said he had a surgery, got married, was traveling to Nepal and Japan and Tokyo. And he kind of, many people speculate he kind of lost the love for boxing, or there was a lot of outside distractions. So during this whole time, Errol Spence, before that and during this, was trying to get a Keith Thurman fight. And then Keith Thurman, when he was coming back, he was like, nah, I'm coming back off injury. This is my get back year. I'm gonna come back into it slow. I'm not gonna fight a top guy straight away. And I'm gonna fight, you know, work my way up. And it's funny because Keith Thurman, the very year he said, this is my get back year, I think it was 2019, if memory serves correct. That whole year he didn't fight. So he said they had a PBC. I remember all these things. I'm boxing's encyclopedia. You don't have to look up encyclopedias and Wikipedia, right? PBC in like January, they did a Showtime up front where they like laundry list all the scheduled fights, and they had all the fighters, Broner and Deontay Wilder and Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman. They were all there. And they were interviewing, they had single interviews and stuff. And Keith Thurman was saying, this is my get back year, it's my get back year. You're not gonna see the Errol Spence fight. He's like, nah, you're not gonna see it. This is my get back fight. And then after that interview, Keith Thurman kind of disappeared again and didn't fight for the remainder of the year after saying it was his get back year. And then he was gonna start fighting top competition. So, you know, I like that. I'm definitely torn by this situation for 2 reasons. One, I understand Errol Spence, which I'll get to in a second. And 2, I understand that it's a good fight. I still think Keith Thurman and Spence is a great fight. I've always wanted to see the fight stylistically. But back to what I was saying, I understand Errol Spence, his hesitance, because I mean, it's like the bad guy in the movie. Let's say you're watching a Tom Cruise movie and there's a scuffle and there's a fight. The guy pulls out a knife. He's trying to kill Tom Cruise. And then Tom Cruise knocks him to the edge of the cliff. And then the guy's falling, or, you know, he's losing his grip. And he's like, hey, grab onto me. Save me, save me. And then you're thinking about it. Like, can you even trust this guy? If you reach your hand out to save him, he might try to pull you down because he was just trying to kill you moments before, right? And that's kind of what I look at in this situation with Errol Spence. When Errol Spence was down, like meaning he wasn't a champion and he was on his way up, looking up, Keith Thurman was not trying to send him any help, not trying to make the fight and give him an olive branch. Now that Errol Spence is the man, big fish, making the most money in the welterweight division, has most of the belts, more belts than anybody. Now Keith Thurman wants the Errol Spence fight. So Errol Spence is probably like, bump that. Let me know how I did in this video. Subscribe to the comment. That's my best guess of who Errol Spence was talking about when he said, when I said never, I meant it. Let me know how I did. And I'm up. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones.
Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC, Bluetooth ready, with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.
Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.